Recreation Commission meeting, October 26, 2022, present are
David Neiman.
Carlos Adams, Select Board's representative.
Patty Gale, Planning Assistant.
Jean Walker.
Evelyn Miller.
Andrew Chaplin.
Okay, first on the agenda, map 5, lot 98, presentation from Scott Gross, School Board Administrator, reviewing proposed sports field renovation project at the Goffstown High School, 27 Wallace Road, Zone Residential 1. Scott?
Hi, thank you so much for having me on such short notice. Thank you, Patty. The school district has long discussed putting an artificial surface field down for a variety of reasons. And through a confluence of good things happening, both a federal grant, a very large private donation, as well as some impact fees, we're going to be installing artificial surface and lights. As you can see, the plans call for putting this artificial surface over the existing field, so the footprint is not changing. The drainage that you have, I'd say almost entirely it permeates through the artificial surface field. I'm not an engineer, some of you are, so I'm not going to try to explain because I don't have the expertise in that area, but the engineer who drafted this is working with the Department of Public Works, Scott Ozana, I believe, is that right? And to make sure that that's the case. And just wanted to provide you with a courtesy, review of this. It's pretty straightforward type of project. Nothing is changing with the bleachers, footprint's all the same. We are going to replace the fence, but it's going to be the same fence line, essentially. The only thing that we're looking to do potentially is like a press box area, but it's going to be where the press box is now. It's going to be like an addition, so the footprint is very similar to where that tower is, and we're waiting to get some drawings on that. But other than that, I'm not sure if you have any questions for me, but that's the gist of this. It's going to go before planning on November 17th, I believe.
Okay.
And also, just so I want to say this publicly, is that we did reach out with Patty's help. I got the addresses of the abutters. We're going to hold like a listening type session the week before to let the neighbors know, because we're putting up lights as well. Lights now are so much more not only efficient, but they're directional in terms of like light pollution. They're light years better, no pun intended, than they were 20 years ago with the halide type lights. So that's pretty much
That would be
it.
the only thing, is the lights and the neighbors, and you're already taking care of that by
Yeah.
meeting with them, so that would be the
Yeah.
new thing. And that would be the concern. Does anybody else have any questions?
Scott, I think the only thing that one of the things I think that might be of interest to this commission is, can you talk a little bit about the drainage scheme? I assume it's under drains.
Yeah, so
Where's it going to discharge to? Is it gonna-
from what, again, not an engineer, but from what I'm told, the vast majority would permeate as it would be if it was natural grass.
Okay.
Anything in excess of that, there are some outlets that go on that press box side, and again, I'm hoping like you would know more than I would, but I know that there is a drainage structure that if it was any excess type water, it would flow again on the district's land. But that's what I was told.
Do we have any other questions, concerns?
Just one other question. So,
Sure.
I mean, regarding lights, I mean, it's
Yeah.
obviously when there are games, so of course people will have concerns, but as you say, lights are much better down.
Here if you want to.
But they probably wouldn't be on very often either. I mean, how frequently would the lights be used?
Probably infrequently. I say that, what happens this time of year especially is that you're absolutely right. Most of our competitions are done in the afternoons for, say, soccer, field hockey, etc. You would have Friday night football, but those are 4 games a year. But soccer games this time of year, October especially, as it gets darker earlier, you might be putting lights on. But the other thing that, in speaking with Parks and Rec, more than likely we'll have some community type uses, but we don't anticipate, we're not gonna be having, we're gonna be respectful of our ordinances in town in terms of obviously noise ordinances, and we don't wanna be a nuisance to our neighbors, so that's pretty critical. And I mean, I've spoken to a few of them, the Foleys, I've spoken with Deverance, a few folks, so we wanna be, we've historically been good neighbors, and we wanna continue to be good neighbors.
It's not like it's gonna be something every day there or every week.
I don't anticipate that.
You never know.
But I don't know, I only know school use. I don't know what will happen when others, like if Parks and Recreation wanted to use fields, or if there's youth leagues, et cetera. That I can't speak to. I can only talk about school games, and most of those fall right after school.
After school.
Yeah.
But
Yes, Evelyn?
dark gets early. I mean, another week it's gonna be dark
Yeah.
almost by
By
4.
4:30.
Right, but keep in
3:30.
mind that almost all of our competitions now, the regular season is over, and unless they were in playoff type environment, so,
I guess my only concern would be that to notice all the people in that, that are
Yeah.
backed up to that would at least,
Right.
we're doing almost a double notification, so we want to have a listening session, and we're going to have the engineer who prepared these plans, as well as the lighting company, be available for that listening session. And then there's obviously, the abutters get noticed for the planning board meeting as well. So we're doing two notifications, one we did, and then obviously the town's going to do another one.
so notification is through the website on the,
No, through the mail.
Butter notification.
Through
We-
the
we-
mail.
we
We've
send-
actually
yeah.
notified butter.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we did the same exact thing when we put a sign up, et cetera. So we try to, be as, respectful.
Neighborly.
And sometimes when you run into them, like if I run into somebody, if I'm near the school and I see somebody on their lawn, I run over and talk to them about this, so. That was it.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions, concerns? Okay, thank you,
All right,
Scott, for
thank you
coming in.
very much again for having me, appreciate it.
Do you want us to pass on
Oh.
no issues or concern to the planning board?
Yeah, I think,
Just-
yeah.
No issues or
And
concerns?
we're pleased that he's meeting with the neighbors with
Does he
lighting,
want to collect any?
and discussing.
No, I need them for planning.
Thank you, have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got that?
Yep.
Okay, next we have map 23, lot 13 and
Okay.
11. Subdivision review and request for relief of the outer 50 of the 100-foot wetland surface water conservation district buffer. Hearing for proposed to adjust the lot line between the two existing lots and create a third new lot. The applicant is also requesting relief of the outer 50 of the 100-foot wetland surface water conservation district buffer for proposed driveway encroachment and associated improvements. The properties are located at Channel Avenue, owned by Vincent and Nicholas Urban, Lot 11, and Arson Holding LLC, Lot 13, Zone Residential 2. We have someone here to present this.
And you do have
Yeah,
big
I'm
plans
Yeah.
under the school
Curious
plan.
why they're doing that now.
Good evening. I'm Craig Francisco, Vector Design Consultants.
Just state your name, and
Yep.
This is a little strange. We have two existing lots. Lot 13 is 4.16 acres. Lot 11 is 7.9 existing. Lot 13 has no road frontage. Its boundary's about here. And lot 11 is currently all this. We're proposing three lots. There's an existing duplex here, so that'll be one lot. This is the second lot. This will be the third lot. I started with the overview first, just because I think it's kind of stuck. So on this plan, well, I should back up a little bit. I'm sure you're all familiar with the rail trail right here. This is Channel Avenue. This is Morgan Court, Morgan Estates is right here. So everybody knows where we are. Sorry to say that earlier. And there is an existing easement here to this lot. That's what this little, looks like a roadway, but it's only 30, I think it's 35 feet wide if I remember right. I started working this project about 10 years ago. bear with me. On this, I outlined the wetlands in blue, the 50-foot buffer in green,
Oh, wait.
the new boundary line in purple, just to try to get some more detail here shortly.
Just a clarification, you said existing easement, what is the specific nature of that easement?
Access to lot 13.
Well, access, yes, having access is one thing, being able to build a road or a driveway is a different level of easement
It's
than
not-
merely
it's-
having access.
It's not, well, it's for access, drainage, utilities, it's not for a road.
Okay,
Not
thank you. Looking for clarification.
This is just
That is existing.
change lot.
So I should back up a little more. A couple years ago, my client was going to apply for a variance to use that access to build on lot. Sorry, like I said, I've been working on this for a long time, so. Astron Holdings is owned by Vincent Urban, and Vincent Urban owns like 97% of this lot. So the reason he gave himself an easement, sort of, was to access this lot to build a, I don't know, what I think he's gonna build a duplex back here. But at the time, the town said that he had to have frontage to get a building permit, so he would have had to go for a variance to get a building permit off an easement. Therefore, we had to do a lot line adjustment to get the frontage. To do a lot line adjustment, we were gonna be surrounding this lot. So therefore, we gotta do a subdivision and a lot line adjustment. So that's how all this, we were doing condominiums and all kinds of things earlier, but to make this lot have frontage, you had to come down here, you couldn't be next to this house. So this house had to be on a separate lot to get frontage here for this one. So that's a long way around to where we're going. So this is a half a project. This is lot, what's proposed lot 11. The rail trail's here again, Morgan Court, Chattel Avenue, an existing woods road that goes through here. Yes, it goes through the wetland. And this is kind of a road. You can drive your car down this one. You can't drive your truck down this one.
So, on that lot, you're proposing a building? Is that right, in the middle?
Proposing building back here, yes.
Building.
They have to have
Where-
buildable areas on all the lots.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we jump ahead.
It's a long story, but I'm getting there.
Looks like a wetland.
And this is the other half of the property, showing, again, the blue is the wetland, the green is the 50-foot, the purple is the new lot line. This is the 50-foot, this is not 50, 35-foot access easement I was talking about. The easement will be discontinued because he's going to end up owning it, so the easement's not necessary anymore. So like I said, we're getting there. I'm trying to start on easy. This is back to, here's the rail trail again. The blue is still the wetland, the green is still the 50-foot buffer. The orange here is the 60 by 70 rectangular, buildable rectangle. And this is the 4,000 square foot area for possible leach field. Just to show that it's buildable. I'm gonna get to the access part. Honest, I'm getting there. And this is the other side with the same blue wetlands, green rectangle in the 4,000 square foot area.
Can I ask you something, Craig?
Sure.
How come you're not showing the 100-foot buffer, you're throwing the 50?
Because I didn't have enough colors.
Okay.
And I hate red. How's that for an
They keep
answer?
thinking that everything is in the 100 foot,
See it, yeah.
like right in the middle
I
of
think
it.
it's
You see the dash.
proposed locations are out of, for building is out of the 100.
Yes,
The
all the buil-
driveways are
The
within.
building is completely out of the 100.
Okay.
Oh, I take that back. This working area is slightly in the 100, but I can move
Like
it.
that's the 100
I
mark.
apologize. That should not have been in there.
Okay.
But it's a very valid point, because if the whole request is looking for relief from the outer 50 feet, then it should be shown where it is.
He's gonna relocate it, is what he's saying.
Well, I can relocate this for this area.
Are you gonna is it gonna still be within the 100 foot, or is it gonna be out of
It'll
it?
be out of the 100. It'll be out of the 100 foot.
Okay, so that'll be definitely a concern with planning too.
Yes, I'll hear about that tomorrow night, I'm sure. Now we're getting into the whole, more into it. I guess I forgot to follow this one. The existing road, as I mentioned, right here, it comes down, goes through the wetland, back to here. And it goes, like I said, through the wetland.
It's a big wetland.
So instead of going through the wetland, we're gonna come off here, nick the 50-foot buffer. We're going through the 50-foot buffer. We're going through the 100-foot buffer. That's why I didn't really call it 100-foot, because we're going through the 50-foot also. And this is the 100-foot. To get back here, turn around for the fire department, showing a duplex, and again, the 4,000 square foot area and a well here. So we need relief from the outer 50, from the outer 100, or here, the outer 50 from here to here, from here out, and from the inner 50 here.
Is this commercial or is this?
This is the
Residential.
This is the existing duplex. That's the 50-foot going through it. There's no area on this lot outside the 100. So again, the driveway's coming in here, crossing the wetland, going through the outer, inner 50, through the outer 50, 50 back to the wetland again to get to here. We have a wetland permit for this. It was originally approved in 2017. And then we amended it, because originally it was down here, going up. We amended it to move it down here, across Rim Drive, for two reasons. One, to avoid a big piece of ledge right here. That was the main reason. And to get across from this, it made it a little bit easier. We got it amended in 2018. We just got it extended in July, so it expires in July of 2027. So we do have the wetland permit with DES for this. This is already built, like I said.
This
That's
is,
it in a
one of those
nutshell.
is just a 1 acre.
This would be a 1 acre lot, yes.
A lot of wet. Alright. So you're asking to subdivide that lot
What I was trying to say was,
first?
we want to do it all at one time, but yes,
So
we're going to
just
subdivide
put on
it.
to two different pages, and that's why it gets confusing. So the overview shows like this,
Right,
this is gonna be a lot here,
That little, yeah.
this, following this,
Will be
like
this
that.
other lot.
Nope, will be this lot, and then this will be this lot.
Ah, this will be this one, okay.
So it's confusing because he's following, you gotta match the sheets, because there's,
Yep,
the bigger blowout is spread out on 2 sheets.
let's see.
It is a little confusing. but-
Match this. Okay. So in you're having a new lot, the third lot is what you're hoping for.
Yes,
And in that lot, you're going to be, the land is going to be within the 100-foot setback, what you want to propose?
the driveway is going to be within, on this lot, the driveway is going to be within the, we're up next to the wetland. It'll be 10 feet away from the shoreline?
Like right through it?
No, not this one. Yeah, wetlands here, so we're going to be 15 feet maybe away from it. The other lot, the other driveway is going to go through it. Through
The other
wetland.
lot's going to be right through, the
The driveway
one
was.
of them's going to go right through it?
Yes.
And it looks like you're gonna have a fair amount of,
So we
earth
see,
moving around and
Yes.
big slopes and,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, not a lot, but yes, some, yes. We got about we'll keep on going.
so
The,
actually, sometimes when we start with a brand-new lot, because it's brand new, things should be kept out of the 50-foot and the 100-foot.
We can't get here without going through it.
The state allows them to cross a wetland when there's no alternative when they do it.
But they're asking for
Yeah.
Yes.
create a new
New
lot.
lot.
And
Just to clarify, in our agenda, it says the applicant is requesting relief of the outer 50 feet of the 100-foot wetland surface water district buffer for the proposed driveway encroachments and associated improvements. Problem is, I'm not really seeing clearly exactly where in the details of what that encroachment is. That's why I was
driveways.
saying it would, yeah, the driveways, but where and how much and what are associated improvements? Can we, spell this
Well,
out in
actually,
more detail?
I'm asking for relief from the inner 50 and the outer 50.
So, going back to that, we're gonna have to talk to Joanne about that tomorrow, or Derek, because the inner, generally you have to go to ZBA. I don't know if there's something you're gonna ask of the planning board tomorrow for determination. I don't know where it's going in both.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause I'm going through the wetland in the other driveway, so I'm definitely going through the inner and the outer.
Yeah, because they can planning grants relief of the outer with a waiver, or sometimes a conditional use, but when it's in the inner, it's a variance. So I think you're gonna have to go to ZBA for it.
Okay.
So actually, when you
But
look at
that's their
this
determination.
whole piece, it has a lot of wet in different areas.
I think I have another question though. So the law is that if it's an existing lot, you cannot deny somebody the right to get into that lot if they have to cross a wetland. But we're now looking at, and I don't know if I'm right, but subdividing it. So then that doesn't follow that that we have to give them, if it hasn't been formed into a.
When someone had like a structure and they wanted a porch, they were already in it. We kind of looked at the 100-foot, but when you're starting with something with nothing on
Isn't
it,
there. You know what I'm saying?
nothing.
Alice?
Well, if they're gonna subdivide, the new lots that are created ought to be developable.
Right.
Right.
It needs to be accessed from somewhere,
That's what we're saying.
either upland access or wetland access with a permit, or access through the inner or outer or both of the,
But if we're looking at it, and we feel that it's
So,
impacting wetlands too much, then we're not going to recommend it to be,
no,
create a new lot there. But I'm wondering if we shouldn't have a site walk on this, because it's rather confusing, to be honest.
well,
Well, for years, looking at plans, we pore over the details of what is the impact. And all I've heard so far tonight is there are going to be impacts, and I'm not getting a good description of the exact nature of them. What exactly is being done, what drainage patterns are being altered, what are the details of this encroachment? So hard to comment on an encroachment if you don't fully grasp the details.
Craig, can you
Craig, yeah.
review the wetlands assessment report with them?
the thing is, they're creating a new lot that has to be accessed by going through the wetland to get to it.
so that lower right looks like the specific detail for the wetland crossing, right?
Yes,
That
this
culvert?
is the
Okay.
plan that was submitted with the wetland permits.
Yes, the lower right, not the
Yes.
title block, obviously.
So what page are we on now?
8.
8. And what you're saying is you submitted this plan with a request,
To DES with a wetland permit application back in 2018.
With an assessment report that was part of the package we got.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't do the file, but in your file, there should have been a wetland, yeah.
Here.
Do you have it that you
I got 2.
can review like your impacts?
so 2018, they knew that it was going to be a subdivided
That was a
lot.
wetland assessment, it wasn't into the details of the
Before I get into the
construction.
wetland report, we have two existing lots,
Yeah,
right?
2, right,
2, one here and one here.
okay,
The only way to get here is to cross this wetland.
okay,
We have a permit to do that, to get across this.
okay,
We have a buildable area back here.
all right,
To access that buildable area, we have to come through the inner and outer 50-foot to get here. True, even if it's already part of this lot, this duplex is on this lot, it's all one lot. But you still can't deny access to this area.
But there was no structure on there?
You still can't deny me access, whether
Okay.
it's for a structure, or whether it's for a garden, or whether it's to go, whatever.
No, but if it's in the inner 50, we could say you gotta go to the ZBA.
Yes,
for the
yes. I don't have a problem with
Have
ZBA.
you started that process?
No.
But then
Well, I have kind of started, because Andy
then
told
they're
me
gonna
to
change
work
it to
on it.
3 lots.
Well, at the time, were you planning on
Right
3
now-
lots?
Right now it's 2, we're planning on 3.
But
And
at
the third one is that little triangular up on the, okay.
Here, with an existing house on it,
With,
existing duplex.
When you had the 2 lots, at that time when you subdivided to the 2 lots,
We didn't subdivide it.
you bought 2 different people bought
This,
those?
this was owned by the town, my client bought it on a tax sale, and this was owned by the Roman Catholic Church, and he bought from them.
And you want to take a lot off of one of them?
Yes, we want to take a lot of this and access this
You
way.
have, the lot line has to be changed, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So it's a 2-lot subdivision of that upper left lot.
Well, we're trying to build it here,
Right,
and the only way to build it here is to get frontage.
I get it,
So to get frontage, you have to subdivide this.
right.
So
So you want to do it,
that's the
There are
whole,
no buildings anywhere?
right now, there's one here,
There's on that small one.
Yeah,
you-
there's existing duplex there.
yes.
so you want to do a 2-lot subdivision, understood.
Yeah.
We're not looking at the plans for a 2-lot subdivision.
Yes.
He's actually taking 2 lots and creating 3 lots from it. He's adjusting all the lines so he can get
So
a
one of the
one,
lots is a 2-lot subdivision.
yeah. He's adjusting the lot lines and he's creating a
Yeah.
3rd lot.
First of all, they're asking for the lot line adjustment, so they have 3 lots. And then they ask for relief from the 100-foot.
Again, I'm getting confused. Are we doing a lot line adjustment or a subdivision? Which is
It's a
it?
form of
Ah.
subdivision. They're both a form of
I'm
subdivision.
taking 2 lots and making 3, so it's a subdivision.
It's a subdivision, not a lot line adjustment.
Yes, that
Yes.
sounds like the right answer. It's not both, and a lot line adjustment isn't necessarily a subdivision because you're
It's
changing the
still
relative
considered a form of
areas.
subdivision because you have
Well.
other RSAs.
So let's just clarify it and call it what it is. It's a subdivision.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Just, yes. so
if you didn't change the lots, like if you kept them as 2 lots, he's under a different ordinance. Once you change the lot lines, that's when the 100-foot kicks in. I'm looking at your detail, I didn't know, like, you have some of the impacts on, like, on the, I don't know which driveways these go to. These things are confusing to me too.
It just looks like a lot of
Because you're
impact.
saying like in one impact area is 420 square feet, another impact area is 818 square feet. I don't know if that's just one driveway.
This is one driveway.
That's just for the one drive. I mean,
But
you guys are welcome to do
this
a
goes-
sidewalk
this-
if you want.
yeah.
Sheet 8 shows it going around the existing.
Right.
I don't know.
We're impacting 618 square feet up here and 420, I believe, down here.
Craig, what size culvert's under that driveway crossing?
I believe it's an 18. Oh, that's a 36. This is an 18, so this is a 36. There is a seasonal brook coming down through here. It empty comes out of Morgan's Crossing. There's a culvert comes out of Morgan's Crossing, goes through the site, comes across Channel Avenue here. So we're putting 36 here, there's 18 here.
Yes, that would still be 100.
Does it appear to
This is
have a lot of steep area also?
Pardon me?
Well, it looks like in the lots.
Topography wise, do you have steep slopes?
It's more than what percent's considered steep? 15, 20, yes. This is pretty steep in this little area and in here.
See, that's, they've had
Yeah, right.
a lot of earth
Yes,
and
it's
build up
up. I've walked it many
to the road
times.
and
This
have
is-
It's kind of flatter at the top.
Yeah,
You
Up
can
in
see
here's
part of
flat.
it from the rail trail.
comes down to the brook.
So I was thinking, is it
Relatively
right
flat
next to
through
the
here,
rail
but it's
trail?
pretty steep in here.
The back end of,
I'm not comfortable
I'm not
unless we
either.
go for a site walk. I'm sorry. I
Well, to
just-
be honest, it's pretty thick and briar.
The 36-inch RCP, is that embedded?
Yes. It's gonna have
I'm
4
not
or 5 feet of cover.
looking at 31.
191. Yeah, it's gonna have about 6 feet of cover on it.
Yeah, but it's embedded into the seasonal
No,
screen?
I don't believe so.
Not close.
No, it's not embedded. We've got a 191 outlet and it's about 192 at the ground, so
I don't have the DS permit from me. Did they require it to be embedded, or did they approve it as submitted?
would you like a copy? I brought one for everybody.
Oh, nice.
I was ready with that
So
one
they
at least.
got, they got the wetland.
Yes.
He did, yeah.
That's good to be prepared.
Was that copy?
So pretty much the whole driveway's in there, at least in the 100, and most, and some in the 50, right?
This one? Yes.
Yeah.
It's all in the 100.
It's all in the,
It's all in the 100.
the whole thing is either in the 50 or the 100, correct?
Yes, until you get to where the house is gonna be.
A lot of it's in the 50, I think, if I can figure this out. So there is some within the 50-foot setback, correct? The driveway?
Oh, yes. Yes, well, we're crossing the wetland. in
Yeah,
two
and then the
places.
rest of it's in the 100?
Until you get to the house location,
Right.
yes.
So you're actually asking not just for relief from the outer 50, but you're asking for relief from the inner 50?
Yes.
For all of it?
Well, the whole road is rough, the driveway is roughly 550 feet long, and it's all inside one buffer, the other, yes.
And there's no dwelling there now? There's no,
But we have to access, we can't access that lot without doing this driveway. It's an existing, that area is an existing lot.
It does go
So
down.
to answer my own question, there is a condition on the wetlands permit that says culvert shall be laid at original grade or embedded to maintain hydraulic connectivity through the crossings. Just for clarification.
Okay. We show it at original grade.
Okay. Point is allow the water to keep flowing through it. Yeah. Okay.
so we're actually working with a piece of land that hasn't been developed into a house lot yet.
Correct.
Two pieces,
It
three.
can't be.
One of them has a house on it, that's the acre one. Okay. We're starting from scratch on this without anything there to, and there's no way you can even begin to get there without going through both the 50 and the 100, correct?
Correct. And the wetland. I mean, the brook is basically, the brook is real close to the existing property line.
It almost looks like they used it as a boundary.
Well, not quite, but
Yeah.
real close. I found a couple iron pins that were, it was very difficult to do. The boundary is this line here,
Is that
to be removed,
Current boundary.
and the brook is down here.
the boundary now?
Yes, the boundary now is right here. It says to be removed. So to get here, you gotta cross that brook. And at least the back away is through here.
Right, so
We're
There's
making
a-
ourselves a problem.
because he has significant with the driveway, there is a provision in here that we were looking at before where it was roads and driveways for crossing wetlands. This is in our ordinance. And the WSWC district provided that there is no other alternative development plan that will further minimize impacts to the wetlands and the wetland surface water district. So
Is that the case?
this is like a larger, like, that's why he has to, but there's a provision when it's just a simple crossing.
Well, this one, nothing this is a simple crossing.
But then when you're going up in the area you're disturbing to
Yeah.
do the turnaround for the fire.
That's a lot of 100 feet.
Okay.
There's a lot of wet being disturbed with this type of,
1,000 square feet.
anybody have, I'm not comfortable with it, but is anybody, how does anybody else feel?
So what do you suggest, do you think they should move it, relocate the driveway to stay outside of? the-
Yeah, if they,
At least
could.
the 50 feet, if not the 100?
well, everything, yeah, it's in the 100 and in the
Well,
50.
we can't locate the driveway to this lot outside of any of those, we got to cross the brook. If you're crossing the brook, I'm obviously gonna be going through the 100 and the 50 and the wetland itself to get here. And this one, I'm avoiding the wetland and going through between the two wetlands to get back here.
Does anybody else have any comments?
The first DES approval doesn't include crossing that brook.
This one? Yes, yes.
All right. I'm sorry, it's like, the last thing I heard said was, well, we couldn't do that because we'd have to cross the brook.
Well, I'm talking about two different driveways. This one, we're crossing here and here
Okay,
to get to this property.
okay.
The other driveway is coming up through here, roughly like that, to get back here. And not going through a wetland at all. So we have to go through, the inner 50. And like I said, I apologize, I didn't follow this blue, but that's a wetland right there. This is the 50. We have to go through the 50 to get through these two wetlands. We
Right,
can't,
so they'd be pulling it
we
away.
can't get around it. We can't get to here without going through here. That's why I didn't call it the 100, because the 50 is more obvious. I have to go through the 50, so,
And you can't come off Morgan Court because that's another property.
no, it's a private road. We don't have frontage on Morgan. We've talked to them a couple times. We would love to come in off Morgan Court because then the utilities and everything are just,
That would
Yeah.
make
Right there.
everything so much better.
I'm just-
yes, I agree, we've tried that for
This is
years.
gonna require just for-
That's why we, for years, tried to get a long time.
That's their choice.
But the condominium association, how many owners own this road was a nightmare. Trying to get 100 people to agree on something, or however many people are back there.
Anybody else have any?
Well, it's already divided into two lots
Two lots.
anyway. And the third lot is really not impacting
No.
any of the wetlands. It's the existing lots. And we can't deny them access to their existing lots, correct?
Well, that's the planning board, but
Yeah, not.
he has two lots now. One already has a house on it.
Right.
The other one doesn't, the one that he's going
And
in
So-
the outer. By doing this to create the new lot,
Do.
he's creating going through, crossing the brook.
Oh, so
So the new lot getting the frontage is the one that's gonna cross the brook.
all right.
So if they
So
don't create the third lot, they already have, they won't be building another building on that.
If we don't create a third lot, I'm not building anything else.
Right.
Right.
I can't build here without
They can't do
frontage.
anything, if a new lot isn't
Well,
created,
that's
they
right,
can't
the
do
lot in
anything.
the back is landlocked, so you
Right,
need
this lot's
that.
landlocked, so I have to have frontage to get to
Right.
here.
Yeah,
So as soon as
Okay.
I get frontage to here, I've now created another lot.
Right.
Okay.
They would still have two lots.
So you still need to,
They,
and either, no matter what, you'd have to cross it even if you move the lot line around.
It doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
Because that property is
Yeah.
landlocked, so he's trying to make it so it's a
Yeah,
usable lot.
it's all, the brook's right here. This is the
Right.
outlet. of the
So either
culvert.
way, you'd have to do it. Okay, I get it.
So to build here, I gotta do a subdivision to get this frontage here. And as soon as I do that, I've made a third lot here.
Right.
Yeah. So the way it is now, he has a lot he can't build on.
Right.
Oh, he
Because he-
can't build on it at all.
Because it doesn't have
Right.
frontage.
That's why
I
there's.
can't get a driveway permit.
if he doesn't create a new lot.
The only way we'd do it would be is to grant an access easement and go through getting a variance and going through planning board approval. We just, like that one we just had up at Walsh Road.
I was told a year ago the variance would be very, very, very slim to get.
Yeah, if you actually read the state regulations, they're very, very, very much against that because they closed a loophole where,
Without having
Years ago.
Without having frontage.
And you have the area to do a lot, it meets the zoning in that, and it's just, in the lot size and frontage requirements, it's just the
Yeah,
driveways
this
are
meets
going
all the
through.
zoning except for the driveways.
Yeah.
so the only way really to proceed is to do the subdivision. Got that, understood. I'm trying to give you a hard time. This is
I
very
understand, that's why I was saying things.
to
I
follow.
The plans are
tried to go
confusing for
slowly,
sure.
but I've been doing this, I've been working this job for 10
Um,
years.
And then, when I'm first looking at this, I kept looking at Morgan Court and going, what the hell? Huh?
It's right there,
It's right there.
I know. I used to park here and I'd go surveying down through here, it was great.
Um,
Do you guys want a sidewalk? Is that what you want
I
us?
don't know.
No, this,
So the only thing really left on the table is any other
That's where it is.
responsibility of
Right.
the. Yeah, it goes right through it.
okay, so there, this one right here.
No. That's where that road was. It's like a
Okay,
woods road.
okay, but then this is gonna be a lot of earth
I'll confuse you a little bit more.
So,
But then there,
Right.
this
The
one doesn't
driveway
have
to-
any crossing in
The walk beside
But
But there's no
rail trail,
Yeah.
here.
this is the blow up of it, the grading plan, et cetera. We're gonna have water from here being ditched down
it's,
this little center basin into a pipe, into the wetland, into a pipe, across this driveway, back into, and then there's another little basin here, the catch basin to here, and this is just a sheet flow. We just hate disturbing this area to build a detention basin, to be honest with you. We're gonna try to get as much water we can here, the road is gonna be, half of it's gonna go here. Then there's pipes, culverts under the discharge. The same thing, similar thing with the other one. I don't think DPW's reviewed this yet. At least they haven't heard anything from them. From engineering.
Well, they have,
Planning board will cover that.
did Joanne for you the comments?
No. I haven't been any comments
Okay,
since I sent you this stuff.
because you're on for tomorrow.
Right, I haven't
Yeah,
had
she's,
comments.
well, I can get your comments.
so you want, first of all, this, to have the subdivision into 3 lots. And
Yes.
then you want to have the relief from just the out of 100? No, you want relief from the inner 50?
Yes.
You want, oh, we haven't done, for that, would be for the driveway, correct? Or
Yes.
for building too?
No,
Just driveways.
just driveway.
Yeah,
ZBA.
Building.
Or
that's
just
the
access.
relief from the inner 50.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is.
Well, it has to
That's
cross
a
the wetland,
variance.
so it has to
From
cross the
everything.
50.
That's a variance. The inner 50, that's a variance. ZBA.
So then
But-
you're saying is, he needs to go to ZBA.
Do I need a variance if it's for a driveway?
I don't know, that's
That's
why I
good.
think we need to talk to Joanne
Yes, I
tomorrow,
know.
because of that provision that's written in there. I don't know how that applies to a straight crossing. I know they were concerned about the continuous and regrading you're doing, so they felt you definitely needed the relief of the outer buffer. But to cross that section, I don't know.
If I need ZBA approval, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. If I have to get it, I'll have to apply, try to get it.
But it seems like there's a lot of questions also about drainage and disturbance that has to be done to accommodate that drainage with the steep slopes and the drives and everything. I mean, there's a whole can of worms here that's hasn't really even been opened yet.
Well, what do you want to
So
do?
I don't feel comfortable
So
commenting
the,
Well,
on it.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not comfortable with it.
I'm not comfortable with it.
Did you want to site walk it and pass on that you have concerns
Well, I think,
with the impacts to wetlands and you want to site
I
walk
think,
before providing
yeah,
comments?
I think that would, to me, that would be the best thing to do. I don't, yeah.
Well,
a site-
and drainage concerns.
And drainage concern. All right, so let me write this.
A sidewalk.
because I'm not comfortable with it.
I mean, and if, we obviously would have them come back to another meeting, do you want someone to come and explain the impacts to the drainage
Yes.
and
It's-
more,
I will get more information for that.
yeah, to be,
We could be creating ourselves another problem.
Well, do you want to come up
Schedule
with
the
a date?
site, yeah.
Yes, schedule a site walk. Yeah. Well, who can do the site walk?
if you get more than 3 of you, it has to be a posted meeting, but that's fine, we can still post it, someone just has to do a summary as minutes.
I think we can do.
Oops, that's not what I want.
Do we have 3 that can go out? No? Shit, David, are
I
you?
already have several extracurricular things scheduled for
You
this
got
committee
what?
thing. I already have several other issues for this committee scheduled, thank you, so I will pass.
Okay. How about you, Andrew?
It depends on when.
Can you do it too?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Well, that's, I mean, we have to come up with a date
Right, yeah.
and a
Not this-
time
Not
too.
this weekend.
No,
No, I can't do it this
no.
weekend.
Actually, I can't do it the next 3 weekends.
No.
Oh.
I'm out of town.
I can do weekdays then.
Weekends, but not during the week.
No, I can do weekdays.
Okay, after work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's not this, yeah, it's just not, yeah. I'm getting home from surgery this weekend, so I can't do it then. But
And-
Okay. Well, just let me know.
Yeah.
when it
Well,
comes.
no, let's,
Okay.
let's
We
come
should
up with
set-
a,
You should
So-
set it.
Yeah.
we need to come
We'll
up with something.
We'll come up with something.
And when does the time change? Next weekend?
Next weekend.
Next,
So we really,
not this coming
can we
weekend, but
possibly get it done
November.
before
I'm free next week.
next week, your next week?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you?
So next week is,
November comes in there, November.
so next week is
October 30th.
Tuesday's the first, you got, yeah.
Tuesday's the first, yep.
How- yeah.
Okay, what do you think? I think Jean and I are pretty free.
Okay, yeah.
What's better for you?
Well, that's fine.
Pretty
I have
free.
an open schedule on afternoons after 3.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, because I was afraid we were gonna be out there.
No, yeah, no, it'll be lighthouse still.
After 3, so let's make it like,
Can you do 3? Because you're probably gonna start
Right.
into the dark.
Yep, yep.
okay, so 3 o'clock on which day?
No, not Monday.
Tuesday?
No.
Not Monday.
Tuesday?
All right, hold on. Before I say something.
Okay.
And yeah, that's fine.
Tuesday?
Wait, sorry.
What day?
Tuesday,
Tuesday the 1st.
Tuesday?
The 1st, 3 PM, November 1st, meeting at Chatel Ave,
Sure.
Meeting where?
at Chatel Ave at the site.
At the site.
And Craig, can you meet them to walk with them?
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
There.
3 o'clock, November 1st, Tuesday, at the site. Okay.
And there's a duplex there, is that an issue if they're right along, just park along?
Gene, I'm gonna pick you
Chatel
up, I
Ave?
don't know where.
There's a duplex.
That's probably the best place to park it down by the duplex.
By the
Okay.
duplex.
Let's talk.
I don't think we'll pull in, but there's room down there, the road's flat, we've got good sight distance.
It's right by the Rails to Trail, is that
Yeah,
right?
it's like,
Where's it?
yeah, but you gotta like walk downhill. I live nearby, so.
Oh,
I
okay.
go running down there.
You know what?
If you park
We
at
may
the
meet
rail
at your
trail, it's a
house
long
and
walk
go
down.
up there. That might
I'm
be-
not that
You gotta
close,
go-
I'm not that
Oh,
close.
not that close.
You gotta go
okay.
down.
Okay, all
I'm like a
right.
mile away.
If you park at the rail trail, it's an easy walk down, but it's a hard walk back up. Not hard, but
The worst part about running.
Do you have the address of that, the duplex?
That would be good,
And that way they'll know.
right.
There's no address.
off the top of my head, no, I don't know it.
I can look it up and tell you the address.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, I guess we're ready to move on.
It's the second house on the left after the rail trail.
All right, so second
Bottom
house,
of the hill.
second house on left after rail trail, and it's
Just
also a
past.
duplex.
But you'll get
What's
us,
the road
I'll
across
get you
the
the
street
address so
from
you
it?
can GPS it.
Andre,
Yeah, right across the street.
Andre Avenue is like right here.
Okay, gotcha.
I think,
You'll see a bluish green Chevy pickup truck parked right there.
Okay.
okay,
I'll be there before 3.
Nice.
Just on my way home from work, so that's great.
great, that's wonderful. I think, and I guess I'm also And there are no butters really around this area? I mean,
No, he's got a butters.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
you've got a butters, but I mean, okay, so that's one thing we're gonna be looking at, is just if that's gonna be affecting them, you know, in terms of runoff or whatever.
Oh, yes.
If only you could build a building that was only accessed by bicycles and all
That'd be like helicopters, make a
these.
lot
We
of
get a
noise.
bike trail right there. Cycle.
That would work.
Okey dokey. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you
Thank you.
November 1st.
See
Okay.
you Tuesday.
And I'll pass that on to them for tomorrow night. While you're getting started, the other gentleman, I'm gonna run up and get Craig, his
Can I, I'm gonna
report.
stop you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Map,
You can just
map
email it to me
by
tomorrow if you want.
lots
You want it
14,
now? I
lot
can-
14-1 and 13-2, map lots 11, 12, and 14.
Thank you.
Conditional
Thank you.
use permit review, application of Public Service of New Hampshire, DBA Eversource Energy, easement owner for a proposal to replace overhead electric utility structures along the existing 3194 and 3271 transmission lines as part of an ongoing rebuild project. Some of the new replacement structures and site improvements will be located within the Wetland Surface Water Conservation District. A conditional use permit is required within the Wetlands and Surface Water Conservation District. The easement area located on off Elm Street, map 5, lot 14, 14-1 and 13-2, and Black Mountain Road, map 1, lot 11, 12, and 14, zone agricultural, residential 1, conservation and open space, and wetlands and surface water conservation overlay district. Yes.
Thank you, I know that was a mouthful.
job.
Yeah, very nice job. My name is Logan Young. I'm with GCA Geoenvironmental on behalf of Eversource. I was supposed to have someone joining me who was unable to be here for unforeseen circumstances, so they were probably going to be able to handle any of the more technical engineering questions. So I'll do the best that I can, but there may be a limit to the information I can have based on your questions. So like you described, Eversource is proposing to replace 6 total distribution structures, utility poles, on 2 distribution lines. They're lumped here together, but it's 2 separate ones. They both originate from Gregg Substation, one going north, one going south. I can address them individually if that's easier to just cover. So the southern section, that's the 3194 distribution line, and there are 4 structures proposed to be replaced. For all of this, we are proposing replacement of existing structures. No new structures, no changes to the existing right-of-way are being proposed. Everything is going to be intended to be as it currently is. The structures, which are numbers so the 3194 structures, which are 1083, 1084, 1085, and 1086. Those are located off of Back Mountain Road with proposed temporary impacts to wetland areas in that section and associated impacts to the wetland buffer. The access that is proposed primarily is actually going to be coming from Bedford and crossing over the Goffstown town line. There is access shown from Back Mountain Road, which is being considered secondary. That is not, as far as I'm aware, that has not been confirmed that that's going to be pursued. So that's why it's being considered secondary. There's also it may show up on the maps here, but a pretty significant incline where those structures are. So the access from Bedford was preferable because there's existing access that has been used over the years. So the equipment that's proposed to be used to complete this construction on both of these areas is going to be tracked equipment. There's no proposal of new permanent roads. Work paths being proposed will not be graded gravel permanent structures, and any structures, just areas, And any impacts or ground disturbance that are, that follow as a result of this work, they'll be regraded if necessary to return to the original grade, and then mulched and seeded, which is the typical restoration process that these projects follow. On that section, are there any questions about this work in that regard?
So in a nutshell, they're all temporary impacts.
All
They're
temporary
going to be taken
impacts.
out and restored to pre-construction conditions.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, what time of year is the plan
So,
to do this?
I don't believe, that, I do not have a confirmed date for that. I don't believe these are proposed to be concurrent, so they may not be happening at exactly the same time. But I believe before the end of this year, it's planned to replace these
The end of this calendar year?
this calendar year. Yep.
Okay, and the main reason I ask is just, because then that would be some assurance that it's not happening during, vernal breeding season.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Are there any NHP hits or concerns?
In the general area, yes, and we've done a lot of coordination with Fish and Game and received, I don't believe we had received it when this was submitted, but we've received their comments, and we'll be following the typical best management practices for rare species around, specifically reptile and amphibian species, of avoiding impacts to wetlands where we can, and we are, like you said, proposing that this happen during the winter timeframe before the vernal season. So that's the schedule that this project's proposing to stick to fall in line with.
And so, let's see, is number 1 on these maps, is that the 1086 structure, or the,
Correct.
and the number 2 is the 1085?
No, so those 2 pages are 1 and 2. So this is a different scale than we usually present these at, so that if there's any difficulty interpreting this, let me know. The page 2 is where the axis is shown off of Back Mountain Road.
Oh. Well, that makes sense, because that was the question I was leading up to, is why not come off Back Mountain Road?
Anybody else have any questions or?
I'll move on to the other section. I just don't want to do that if there's anything later. So the other section, this is the...
Can you show us
Sure.
what you're looking at so I can find it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So...
Sorry.
No, that's a very good question. And I did want to check, we had submitted printed copies of these that everybody does have on site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just,
page 1 is this page.
and
You
that's,
are very close. Actually, you just had it in your hand, I believe.
okay, this,
Or
In the
that's
very,
page
in
2.
the back, the maps, the aerial maps.
There it is.
thank you very much. Okay,
Actually, it's all clear, the only thing that wasn't clear to me is that the 1 and the 2 rectangles apply to the sheet numbers.
this one.
Once, yeah,
Yeah, there's,
This is good.
I know, you understand that.
so looking at the individual ones, you got separate rectangles for
Yes.
different poles, and
And then it doesn't help when number 3 is all the way across town. Okay, so,
This is the one with the school on it.
yes, the other section, the 3271 distribution line, this is behind the school, closer to Glen Lake. And 2 structures are proposed to be replaced. This is the same procedure of mitigating any ground disturbance, all temporary impacts to wetlands. The one difference here, which I will explain to the best I can, because this could be confusing. There is concurrent construction in the adjacent transmission line corridor for they're not labeled on here, but the larger area off of Elm Street, the C196 and Q171 transmission lines. I know that was presented in
Yeah.
July, I believe.
Yes.
What we're proposing to do, though we do show impacts to wetlands and the wetland buffers, we're proposing to use the access that they put together for that project. So the footprint is the same, that's why we've included them there, but we're not anticipating to create anything new there. In that whole section of the transmission line will be basically piggybacking off of what that project has already put in place. And then entering the 3271 corridor from there.
So if that's confusing, the 3 on the topo.
Yes.
So the yellow line is the new work being done, but if you look in there, you see the transmission lines for what was previously approved last summer, and so they're saying that it's gonna come up that corridor because the work's being done there already.
Yeah. But there are a lot of maps too, so to know
Yeah.
which one I'm referencing,
Okay.
I will try to help as much as I can.
David?
The one in
No.
This one.
Yeah, this one that shows more of the town, it's a bigger scale. It's figure number 1, actually,
It has
top of the stack.
Top of the stack.
Yeah, figure number 1.
So this is, I'm sorry, you asked to see it. This was the page that I was just referencing.
Yes.
See, if I hadn't been so stupid and had actually read this legend in the beginning, where it clearly shows map tiles as being the dark rectangles, that would have all been very clear, but I didn't read that legend, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
But when you look at that now, then it's very clear, so if you go to 3, and then you come up here to map 3, or even if you look at this original one, you can see the transmission lines for the lines across the lake. And recall last summer, we had that presentation for those
Yeah, I
poles being
remember that.
replaced.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's saying, is because that work is currently being done, they don't need to create a new access into this area, because they can just go up where they're already
Right.
working,
Correct.
which is cool.
Yeah.
And that work, I do have a little bit more of an idea for the timing because it's going to coincide with the other construction. The beginning to mid-November is the range where that's proposed to be completed.
Anybody else have any questions? We need to send something on to planning, Patty?
You done reviewing all of them?
I'm sorry.
Are you done reviewing all of them?
Yes, that's the end of what I have here, yes.
Well, so for the temporary wetland impacts, so we've established it's being done in the winter, which is great. Do these require pads being put down?
All of the wetland impacts, yeah, they will be using timber matting as a temporary impact. And then restored the same way that I mentioned, mulched and uplands being seeded.
Yeah, anybody have comments on timber padding?
Been there, done that.
So, we need to send something to planning?
Yeah.
No issues of concern? We have? Is it-
So
Evelyn?
moved. Good.
Evelyn motion, no issues of concern?
Somebody else?
Yeah, I would maybe condition it saying no issues of concern, because we feel like all the proper precautions and procedures are being followed to protect the wetland resources.
Thank you, Dave.
David seconded then.
No, we're taking his motion.
Well, that was just,
He's
you make a
adding or
motion, then you
seeking
can discuss it and modify it, so that was just,
All proper procedures are being followed to
so,
protect the wetlands.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Oh, boy.
Don't know if all proper procedures are being followed with the
Yeah.
vote, but certainly what we're voting for.
So this is great.
We need to have the minutes, any
The other side too, but none of this is-
corrections or to our minutes, and we will make a motion on accepting our minutes.
I don't know if you
I
can
don't,
because you don't have a quorum.
I don't
but
think
was
you were here. Ellen, were you last meeting?
She was here, but
Do you have to have a quorum of who was?
He wasn't here.
Yeah, whatever.
We can't do
I
it.
mean, we
Or
have
you
to have
would
a quorum
abstain.
for the meeting,
you have
but
to
you don't have to have a
abstain.
quorum for the vote,
No, because you can abstain.
yes.
But we don't have enough, do we?
Well, you have 4 people, so you can,
So we can still
David
vote.
I don't know what-
and I would abstain. Wait,
Okay.
were you there?
yeah, she was
Yeah, I
at the
was
last.
Okay,
okay,
you
so,
guys-
Do you want to just hold off and vote at the
no,
next
we
meeting?
might as well, we might as well vote on it, all right? So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No.
Abstain.
Abstaining.
Mike. Okay, everyone saw the mapping that Andrew did? And it was great. It was wonderful that he sent those photos. That really helped Patty. And then
I haven't heard
you
anything
have
from
heard
Amy.
anything. Okay, well, at least we got them on.
Big shout out
Well,
to
that's-
Andy for doing that. by the
Yes,
way.
thank-
Big
And
shout
that's-
out.
Yes, he
Came
did
through.
he did a
Yes, that was
fantastic job,
wonderful.
but then that's the
Dave,
question is what's the follow-up gonna be? What is,
Yeah.
She has them, and she was, what Amy was trying to do from New Hampshire DES, she was trying to have it put on the divers list to do. I don't know if it's made it or not, if it was too late, but she was gonna try and do it, and we were gonna try and spend funds from the operating budget this year to pay for
okay.
that.
Well,
If
that,
we could pull some of it.
that would be
That's
good
great.
if they can. I hope it's not too late, because he found a lot.
We did
Yeah.
find a lot.
We did find a lot.
And even, and this helps though for next year too, if it comes that we have to wait till next year, then it can fall on to be treated in 2023.
Yeah, it would have been nice if it could have been treated before all that new habitat in the lake is restored for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
And Patty already took care of the association dues, I believe.
Yes,
That's taken care of. And we'll change the date for our November meeting to November 16th.
does that work for everyone?
December,
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Oh, I like,
Because you don't want to meet the
because the
day
other one
before.
was the,
no, I understand, I have another
okay.
board meeting.
And this December meeting, should we change that at the same time?
I was gonna ask, do you want to meet on December 14th versus the 28th, or do you want to keep it on the 28th? It's up to you guys.
We'll do the 14th, right? Otherwise
It's up to you guys.
And that's,
what do you want, December?
It still's a Wednesday.
yeah. Is that let's see. It's like the
We could-
second Wednesday of the month.
Yes.
Yeah, let's check and see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the second Wednesday.
December, what are we saying, 14?
The 14th instead of, you definitely don't
work.
want to do the 21st.
That'll work for me.
That's at the
Yeah,
14th?
that'll be all right, yeah.
Okay, and we'll just see what,
I won't make the
see what we
November
have for
16th.
applications that come in.
Okay, so we're
Okay,
changing both
that's-
meeting dates.
For both, yeah, that kind of gives people a heads up a little bit. Other than that, David, do you have something?
Regarding
In
the,
the, yeah, correspondence, it's worth noting that DES permit by notification has been issued for the repairs at the boat ramp at Glen Lake.
Oh, the boat
Since
ramp,
that's
yeah.
gotten a lot of attention
And
lately.
I added 2 more to the one agenda that was passed out tonight. If you either have a 2-pager or you have it on the back. There was 2 permit by notifications for the retaining wall. Some people are taking the advice of trying to fix stuff while the Glen Lake's been drawn down. She has a copy of them. They really look like they need repair. There's one that's like all the stones were in the lake pushing it back.
So it's a good time for people to do that.
So there's 2 of them that are
Yeah.
repairing their retaining walls.
Okay.
yeah, it was obviously an excellent time to be doing that sort of thing, but
Yep.
that was a question that was asked of me, was are all these repairs being made, were they all permitted? And I'm like, I don't know, I have no idea.
Well,
What's
this
the-
gentleman, someone from the state was going through and they were working on it and they, approached him and he went and applied. So it's his application that he submitted it, so he's applying to do the work, and he took the pictures.
Yeah.
Seemed like a time to do
All
it.
right, well, I was just wondering what the procedure was around
They're
that, so
supposed
they
to
can-
get permits,
Yeah,
you know, like that's one of the pictures.
Dry land.
Just
Yeah.
how, so they're moving it back. That's like one of them.
what's that property owner's name?
The other thing is the name's not on it, tells me the map, not the address, and there's another one where the stones are all in it.
Let's see, Patty. Oh, yeah.
That's what they're,
Because
I can pass this around like there's another one. It's- They're just, they're fixing where it's.
the water's out, so they can do
So
it.
I
no,
can
it's
tell you,
great.
Yeah.
Terrific that they
Still
can.
got, it's got follow the channels.
Yeah.
I
But
can
do
tell
they
you
have
the
to go
addresses.
through, to
Yes.
do that, then they have to go through D,
Yeah, this one's by note, but so
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one
From the
was,
state.
Yeah, this outfield
this
permit
one's
for it.
269 Elm Street, and the gentleman that is helping is doing both of them.
Yeah, they have to go through the state.
I believe he started, and the neighbor asked if he could help fix theirs.
One of the properties Humphrey?
Applied for it.
Oh, I
One
think
of
it's.
the property owners named Humphrey,
I was just a.
I think so.
Frank Humphrey?
To fix a wall.
I believe that's
On
the
Newfound
guy.
Lake, and it took
I don't know if it's
only 2 years.
on here.
Is that just the association?
The applicant name is Daniel Bishop. And then this one is 192 Elm Street.
I actually now had to get an extension. because
This is the application, they might be missing some stuff. Bishop, and this one's Marston Stein, that's the signature of the owner. Is this over this one? Yep, Humphrey.
Yep,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
And so
Did-
regarding the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions, so the annual meeting is November the 5th, Saturday, November the 5th. The early bird registration was extended until midnight tonight, so if anybody still wants to sign up, you can get the lower rate. You'll get reimbursed by the commission. The last couple of years, it was done virtually because of COVID, and that actually worked extremely well. It was very successful and had great attendance online. This year is a hybrid model because a lot of people want to come back and be in person, so it's going to be the traditional in-person presentations. But there's also an online option because there are some people who don't want to travel all the way from Coas County but would like to attend. You know, there's good reasons for the online. So when someone goes, they can sign up either way. If you choose the online, it's, I forget how much less, but it's cheaper. Streaming considerations to do it online, you know, there's like a keynote, there's the general meeting, there's a keynote address and all that where everybody attends, and then everything breaks up into multiple tracks for the educational portion of the meeting. There's like, 3 sessions and like 8 different tracks or whatever. Can't stream all 8 tracks online. So they're going to stream, for people who sign up for the online option, they'll stream the most popular track, but everything's going to be recorded. So that afterwards you can go back and watch any track you want, which would actually be
Nice.
great
That's
compared
nice.
to past years, because now, instead of attending 3 sessions, you got 24 to pick from, mix and match to your heart's
Yeah,
content.
that's nice.
And I think for anybody who actually goes in person as well, that'll also be an option that you'd be able to, for the first time, to see all the other tracks. It's like, damn, I really want to go to that, but this one was also at the same time. So that's a big plus.
I think the problem is that everything's opening up. We have a national convention in Boston that week. I mean, that weekend, I think there are like 3 major things.
Well,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
that's the nice thing about the online option, is one could sign up for the online
So
option
you can watch it,
and watch it later.
because you said they're
Because the stuff
taping
is being
everything.
recorded, you've paid the registration, you're registered,
It's good stuff.
you could
So
get
I
that stuff
go
later.
on the web, so I go look it up.
NHACC.org.
So, thank you, David, for going also. Okay, and I know that you asking for volunteers to clean up,
Yeah, it's the show's encroachment,
okay?
doing that Saturday morning.
Okay, so other than that, somebody will make a motion to adjourn?
So, wait a minute, so you want volunteers to help with the cleanup of the show's property?
I sent out an email for it, so that's already been sent.
Okay, alrighty.
Make-
I move that we
We
adjourn.
need a second on
I'll
this.
second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstaining? No. Okay, thank you. We're finished. Thank you.